beyond the skies. You and I, we're breaking bounds on Baobab.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for this event. You actually joined in for Mavis's event. Mavis is an AIR fellow, and so she will be running this event on how to actually turn your passion into a profitable business. But before we get started, and as we wait for more people to join us, I would love to know where you are joining in. So just type in the chat and let us know where you're coming in from, so that we get to see where everyone is coming in from. I believe this is a very big community. Yeah, I already see someone from Ghana. Oh, so many Ghanaians here. Oh, someone from Lusaka, Uganda. Wait, so just tell us where you're coming from. And then Mavis will be able to join us and take this conversation over in a few minutes. So let's wait for a few people, 3 more minutes, and then Mavis will take over. Oh yeah, Khalid from Ethiopia, welcome. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Oh, we have someone from Tanzania. Nice. A very big African community today. Yes, so Mavis, if you can, the floor is now yours. Please take over.
Thank you, Dorothy. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Mavis.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Glad to have you all here this evening, wherever you're joining from, morning, afternoon, evening. I see you all. Yeah, so you're welcome to this entrepreneurship event. And today promises to be a brief but amazing event. I'm sure by the time we wrap up, we go with so much lessons, all our questions, if not all, most of our questions around turning passion to business will be answered. Yeah, profitable business will be answered. If not all, we will try and touch on the key things and the most important thing. So thank you all once again for joining us. My name is Mavis Anartey. I'm an air follow. That's alumni and residence follow on Baobab. Yeah, so today with me is 2 amazing and incredible speakers with so much experience and knowledge in this field we are coming to talk about today. I am a professional fashion designer. I do business mentorship. I run a fashion business for about 5 years now. Yeah, so I also have a little experience to share here today. So not just my speakers, but myself together with them, we'll be doing this together. So I have Mr. Josiah Aisen and Madam Joyce Indu. So I'll allow them to introduce themselves to us as we kickstart the event now. So hello, Mr. Josiah. You are welcome. Can you kindly give us a very short and brief intro?
Hello, Mavis. Good afternoon, everyone, and good morning, good evening, depending on where you're coming from. My name is Josiah Aisen. I am CEO and a co-founder of iSpace, which is an innovation hub based in Accra. And I'm also an investment readiness business consultant. So anything to do with entrepreneurship, I'm pretty much happy to engage. So pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Madam Joyce.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Joyce Kunedu Aidan. The same name is Aidan.
Thanks for the correction.
I'm a brain entrepreneur. I'm the founder and CEO of Essential Cosmetics, and someone to say other businesses. So I'm here to share my little knowledge and also to learn from my big brother, Josiah. Happy to be here today.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you all. We are also happy and we are privileged to have you today. So we'll go right into the main deal. So personally, I didn't do fashion in school. I didn't do entrepreneurship. I read social science. So you would say I'm also someone who really pushed from straight passion to business. So discovering that took a while. It took a lot of bold decision. It took a lot of uncertainties. So I will start with Madam Joyce. How did you discover your passion? Yeah, so let's go in right there. How did you discover your passion for what you are doing now? You are into cosmetic and beauty space. So how did you do that? How did you discover that? Was it something you studied in school?
All right. Thank you very much. Amazingly, earlier, I thought I had passion for teaching because I actually did not attend a teacher training college, but I was able to teach. I ended up getting a scholarship. I was trained through the teacher training college. I was taken to the university to become a teacher. But along the line, I discovered my actual passion for beauty and skincare through my own journey of self-care and self-love. You know my story, Mavis. How people used to laugh at me. I'm very dark. In fact, I'm black. And at a point, I tried to bleach my skin because almost everyone around me was light skinned. And I didn't love the kind of names that I was given and how I was always excluded from a lot of groups. So I tried, but God being so good, and then with the discipline at home, I was corrected early enough. So with my desire to love myself more and take care of myself, I discovered this passion of mine. And I realized that creating high quality products, which I was already doing for people, I realized I could turn it or make it a business. I had a number of people telling me that, Amma, you are doing great with this soap that you are making for people treating diverse skin issues. So why don't you turn it into something profitable? So also, I have a strong desire in making a difference in the life of people. At the end of the day, I want to make an impact in people's life. So I combined this with skincare, and it pushed me to have more passion in this business. And it has become clear that now it's not a hobby. It's not something that I do and just feel happy, but it's something that is able to put food on my table and also make a difference in my society.
Well. That's great. That's great. Like that's really admirable. Sometimes in life, when we face challenges, like the time people were laughing at you, throwing you here and there, it's something that could really turn someone down. But you see, there lies opportunity. So personally, anytime I see challenge, at the back of my head, I know this is another opportunity for me to grow. So that's good. That's good. Nice hearing you, Madam Joyce. Mr. Josiah, so I know you have entrepreneurship hub like iSpace Foundation. Please, we would want to know, how did you do that? Was it a passion? Why did you decide to start an entrepreneurship hub, mentor or run with so many entrepreneurs? Yeah, help them, guide them in so many ways. How?
Thanks for that question, Mavis. And I think mine just goes all the way back to probably 1998. I'm old. This because we were in school and pretty much looked at the way in which we can organize music events at school and everything else. And my friends and I were the first people. So it was always the kind of person that said, oh, why can't we do this? Who said we can't do this? You know, we might not have the money, but we can do it because we've seen other people do it and all of these. So I've always been with the business mindset. And then, so when you look at iSpace, my thing was always that a lot of people are not quote unquote successful, not because they're not good or they don't have the drive or passion. It's just they did not have the knowledge that was needed for them to be able to be successful. Because with business, you need set of principles, right? How to manage a business, how to build a team, how to sell, how to pitch, and all of these things. So that's what kind of led me into setting up iSpace. Really was just to provide that space for entrepreneurs to then be able to get the necessary resources that they needed. So for me, I think it stems from the fact that growing up in London, seeing that entrepreneurs are successful mainly because they have a conducive environment, not because they're naturally born to be successful. It's just that they had a conducive environment. So that's what drove me really to set up iSpace so that I can provide an environment for entrepreneurs to be able to make mistakes, be supported, and then for them to grow their businesses really.
Well, that's amazing. That's amazing. And you are doing so good. You are helping many, of which I am a testimony. I've also benefited from that initiative. So kudos to you, Josiah. So I think personally, it is great looking at hearing from both speakers and from different backgrounds, from different situations. You can see that no matter your situation or no matter how your own is starting from, there is possibility, like there is something good that will come from there if you really make it a point to turn it into something great. Because personally too, I didn't see myself doing fashion. I just thought I was just doing something for fun. But you see, there is something we call like purpose too. When you have so many things doing, or even if you are unsure about what to do, I'm sure when you look around you, there are specific things that you do with so much ease. So in doing those things, that's have to draw your attention to the fact that you have something inside of you, because everybody, every individual, no matter how you were born, where you were born, no matter the area, the continent, wherever you find yourself, you come with a unique talent, you come with a unique skill, you come with a unique passion that if you don't know that yet, I think you should find a way and discover that, because we all do have it. Yeah, that's great and that's amazing. So we'll move to Madam Joyce again. We understand the situation brought you to do this. How did you start? When you knew this is something that I want to really do, how did you start? Did you take courses? Did you reach out to mentors? Did you go to school for it? Did you have to specially train for this before starting? What was the first step you took?
Well, I'll take skincare for instance. When I started, I didn't find it that easy. Okay, and looking at the beauty industry is very competitive. So what I did first was to involve in intensive research. I did a lot of research. So I took certain courses. I'm also an alumni of Josiah's Hub. So I took some trainings here and there, like the pitching he mentioned, the ideation, how to have a business model and all. And in fact, I must say, all have been very, very beneficial to me. So of course, I enrolled in entrepreneurship courses. At a point when you run the business, when you run the business to a certain point, you realize that you have a lot of homework to do. Sometimes you need to take a pause and go back and do the right thing. Because if you don't do it, you get lost at a point in time and you wouldn't know where to go. You wouldn't even know where you are. So that was the first step that I took. And I'm one person that I always call for help if I need it. I'm never shy to call for help. Earlier, I had that kind of shyness, but entering entrepreneurship, I realized that if you are shy, you are not going to succeed. So I approached a number of people who have had more experience in the field that I ventured into. I sought for help. And of course, those I sought for help, a lot of them told me to enroll in courses. So recently, I completed my MBA program because I was advised, and then I also knew that I really needed it to help me grow my business. So yes, I took courses, I sought mentors, I asked a lot of questions, and then I did a lot of research.
Okay, that's amazing. That's good. That's something we should all note. So I think with our audience, and if you are someone who is really looking forward to turning a passion you have, you should be taking notes by now, because I've taken the first one. You have to learn, you research about the field more. Probably it's just a passion or something that you'll be doing just for fun. You haven't really thought about it into details. You don't know the background details, how it even came about. So many informations about what you are just doing at your small corner. So the first that you research about it, you speak to people who are already there. Yes, we don't live in an island. I'm telling you, entrepreneurship will humble you. Madam Joy said something, and I think I really can relate to that. Sometimes in entrepreneurship, even if you start, you don't ask questions and you start at a point, you have to come back. You pause, you reach out to people who have done that, who have crossed the line that you are forcing to cross, that is not crossing. Yeah, let me put it that way. So I think speaking to people, reaching out to individuals who are taking that path, taking courses, because knowledge is so broad, you don't know it all. Even if you schooled for it, still there is more to learn every day. So I will talk about myself. Personally, when I made the decision I started from undergrad. I started sewing from undergrad, even though I didn't study that, but as the passion came in, I started enjoying it. Coming out of school and taking a bold decision of coming to do national service with my business, it was so crazy. Like, it was so crazy. I remember speaking to few mentors and people who are already into business and people who are in the corporate world. I remember one person told me that, Mavis, have you really thought of this well? Because personally, I don't see you to take the fashion as a full-time work. I thought from all the time that you started doing this, I thought you're coming to do just a part-time work. So to hear you come ask me right now that this is something that you want to do full-time to the extent of doing national service, it means you should really consider that decision. And you know how that was to me. Like, it was a big blow. I felt I was going to receive just a positive response from that person there and there, but it wasn't. It wasn't. So it came back to you. And I think they were all concerned. All the information they gave me were concerned people. You could know that they've gone through that part and they would want to push you to learn more or be sure and be 100% sure that this is the decision I want to take. Yeah. So you go to Mr. Josiah, you work with so many entrepreneurs. So what do you think is the first step an individual has to take when they realize they have a hobby and they think this hobby can be something better than just a hobby?
Thank you for that question. And I think I always put it down to 4 key things, right? But I call it PPSS, right? Which is, first you identify what your passion is, okay? Then you find out that, are you passionate enough? And then you see a problem. You have enough passion to solve that problem. But then you have to then ask yourself, do you have the skills to then create that particular solution? So you're looking at your passion being the first P, the second P being the problem, and then the third letter here being the S, being the skills, and then the last letter S being the solution itself. Now, if you can answer honestly all of these things and say, yes, I have the passion, I can clearly see a problem, and I clearly have the skills and then can develop this solution, then you need to then do a market research on it. Find out about who is already solving that problem in the market. How are they solving the problem? That would then allow you or enable you to then see what your value proposition would be. Because just because somebody else is solving a problem, you might have a unique way of doing it, right? See, so then you need to figure out, okay, this is the main problem. There's probably a solution already. So this person is my competitor, but what makes me different from what it is that they already doing? And I think that's one of the first things that an entrepreneur kind of needs to focus in. So once you've identified all of these things, then you then start thinking about, whether you need a team or other people that need to come on board, or like Mavis said, Joy said, where you need to go and find the extra help that you need. Because sometimes entrepreneurs, when we need to start a business, we automatically think we need money. But in reality, we might need everything else before the money, right? See, so finding out if other people have the skill set to support you to do that, or their resources, you might need to do research, who can help you do those research. And then even when it comes to money, how much money do you need to start? Not how much money do you need to finish, because a lot of us tend to think, oh, we need $100,000 to start up a business. But in reality, you can narrow that down and find out that you probably need $1,000 to start, because it's just business registration, getting a small office, getting a business card, building an MVP. All of those don't take that too much money to do. So I always tell entrepreneurs, first, map out first your passion, identify the problem, see if you have the skills, then look at the solution, then figure out what resources are already there, then tap into those resources before you start thinking about money. But then you need to find out if that solution already exists in the market, and then what is your unique twist to that solution before you can even go ahead and do anything.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much. This is so great. Even me myself, I'm learning. So if you are in the comment section, you are audience, you should be taking notes. You know you have to PSS. I hope you are noting that. And yes, and as youthful as we are, so many people think you need to have so much money before you start a business. But as we heard from Mr. Josiah, the experienced expert, you might need a lot of things other than money. So many things. Money is needed, yes, but it is not the ultimate. You can even start without money, with or without money. Later, the money will come, or you find that later. And also, you should know that you don't need money to finish. You need money to start. So you have to start from somewhere. And that is starting small, or starting anyway, even if you don't have all that you want to. Yeah, you will go with that. You go with that. So we are moving on to, we know sometimes, yeah, so this child, you've noted all these steps that you have to take in starting the business. But sometimes we face so many things, self-doubt, the fear and anxiety, because we've heard people, social media, entrepreneurship is not for the weak, entrepreneurship is this and this and it's that. So we go to Madam Joyce. When you started in the early days, how did you deal with self-doubt, fear to fail, or even some failures that you encountered in the earlier days? How were you able to recover that or overcome that?
Thank you very much, Mavis. When it comes to the fears and the self-doubts in entrepreneurship, these are things that you cannot do without. But there are certain things that help us to manage these fears and self-doubts. It's something that entrepreneurs face every time. Even as I sit here, I'm having such challenges because my vision is big and all the time I want to move forward. But I've learned to manage it by staying focused to my vision. I always remind myself why I started and where I want to be. A friend of mine that I always share my fears and doubts with, she tells me that when you have a dream and the dream doesn't scare you, you don't feel scared sometimes, you don't feel that sense of fear, then it means that dream is not big enough. You are not being ambitious enough. So, of course, the trainings I got, my education, in the little education I got from entrepreneurship, my mentors are around. I speak to them anytime I have this kind of feeling. So all these practices helped me to manage these fears and doubts. And it has also helped me to alleviate my fear of failure. I've also surrounded myself with a support group. I have a support group. So we are a group of entrepreneurs. Anytime any of us have this kind of fear, this feeling of fear, we don't understand anything, we are stuck, we just meet, we have a little fun, and then we share our experiences. And then at the end of the day, we don't have anyone to encourage us, so we encourage ourselves. So I take my support group really seriously, and I don't joke with my mentors. I don't joke with my mentors at all. So all these encouragements from these people in my support group, combined with my faith, have brought me this far and has helped me little by little overcoming my doubt. But for the doubts and fears, so far as your dreams are big, you see that there's a point in entrepreneurship that even if you sleep and you dream, or when you sleep and you dream, you'll be having a lot of ideas. You always want to move forward. Like last year, for instance, Josiah took us through a course, and I decided to rebrand. My business, and it was a whole journey, very difficult. I couldn't have enough sleep for like 6 months because of where I wanted to see my business. It's all part. So as an entrepreneur, so far as you have it in your mind to grow all the time, to move forward, you have these kind of feelings. It's normal, but you would need some of these tools that I've mentioned to be able to overcome. And you also need resilience. Resilience is one serious tool that every entrepreneur needs, because at every point in time, anything can hit you and you feel like you should stop. Funny enough, 2 months ago, I was trying to work on my CV, because even though I'm doing something for myself, I've also been seriously working on what I was really schooled in, like education. I'm a professional teacher. One time I woke up, I told my father that I was going to apply for a teaching job because the entrepreneurship is not for the weak, like you mentioned. And he said, that really shows that you are into the entrepreneurship. Like, you are doing a lot, you are doing so well. That's why you are feeling that way. So just take your time. And great people weren't made in a day. It takes time. So you need to be resilient and then keep going.
Wow. Wow, thank you. Thank you. A lot to learn. Yes, and that's so true. Personally, I also have some of the supports, like you can't do it alone. And most of the times, I think what I will add to it is those support groups help to let you know that you are not alone. Sometimes if some of us can relate, Joyce can really relate to this. The problem you are really struggling with, the moment you share with someone, you could know the person is having either similar challenge or they've gone
even more.
or even more. Then you come back and be like, okay, the thing, I won't die. Like, it's not something that will kill me. And as I said earlier, the challenges comes, but then anytime it's set, you should know that it is creating opportunity for you to move step higher or go further. So yes, you need that. And thank you for sharing, Madam Joyce. Mr. Josiah, so you work with entrepreneurs. So we would want to know some of the biggest challenges people who are trying to turn their passion to profitable businesses face, and how do they overcome that?
Thank you for that question. I think for me, apart from now, I'll take funding off the board because that's always going to be constant. But one of the biggest challenges is a psychological one. It's you look at people having that doubt, right? And then consistency, because a lot of entrepreneurs that I see tend to kind of do multiple things whilst they're still working on the so-called passion that they have, right? So it's almost like you put in an hour of your time expecting to yield 10 hours worth of effort, and it doesn't work like that. So you have to be very consistent about what it is that you intended to do. So that if you wanted to say you wanted to start off a business in selling shoes, for example, you need to literally dive into the pool of building shoes. What does that mean? Constantly learning and growing. Do not spend your time going to sell sugarcane or apples just to hustle and then come back and do the. Be consistent and focus on learning, have a growth mindset and be resilient, because being resilient is something that can never be underestimated, right? Because you're gonna hear a lot of no's, and you need those no's, because I always say that if you get success earlier on in your career, you're bound to fail. It's better for you to get continuous no's, for you to overcome those no's before you become successful, because it builds character. And that's some of the things that I feel that as African based entrepreneurs, and it's not really our fault, it's a cultural thing, because we are pretty much trained from birth, really. You go to school, you get good grades, you go to university, you finish university, you get a good job, you get married, and then, hopefully you have children and you die. That's the series that we all go in. And then here lies the case where reality is entirely different. So we are not taught to be self-aware. We're not taught to have emotional intelligence. We're not taught to have sympathy and all of these other things. So, but entrepreneurship requires those soft skills. So when I talk to entrepreneurs generally, I tend to talk to them more on the psychological development than on the money side of things, because again, if you learn how to be emotionally intelligent, if you learn resilience, you learn how to be consistent, those things like self-doubt will really get smaller and smaller and smaller, because you only encounter self-doubt with action, right? So whenever you tell yourself, oh, I'm not good at something, do that very thing that you say you're not good at. And then you will see that, oh, actually, I'm actually good at that. And then also getting feedback and learning from mistakes. So for me, that's how I talk to my entrepreneurs. Let them kind of dive deeper into their mental state and then find out who they are more so than anything else. And that's how they're able to deal with a lot of the self-doubt that they have.
Wow. Yes. Thank you so much. Pretty much good. Yes. Yeah, I've seen some questions. So please, I think we can hold on with our questions. That session will come. If you post it in right now, we might not see it when it is time for questions. So I'll kindly plead that we start noting them down. When it is time for the question, we will take it so that we will address that. Thank you so much. So yes, so we've said, both speakers have mentioned, and even myself, we talked about the fact that money or finances is not the ultimate when starting or turning your passion to business or working around entrepreneurship. But funding is one key thing that we cannot take away in running a business. So we will move to Madam Joyce. How did you fund your business in the early stages? How did you do it? Did you get sponsorship? Did you have to do it with your own money, or you had some sort of support from family or somewhere? Yeah. How did you do it?
Well, starting my business, I didn't really use a lot of funds. You see, these days when you are talking about how you started a business and you say you did not, you used just a little money, people will be bombarding you. They will think you are lying to them. But as Josiah mentioned, most of the time, it's not really the money you need. So from my side, well, I was a professional teacher then, so I had a little savings that I started doing something small. For me, naturally, I believe in starting small. And so what I do or what I'm doing is being accepted and recommended. I don't really put much into it because I always love to receive feedback before I move on with something I'm doing. So of course, I use my personal savings. I had a few people here and there that I had made some soap for to treat their skin issues that they had taken to dermatologists and it didn't go. I was able to help them treat with some recommendations. After them using my soap, I gave them some recommendations, some kind of things to eat, some natural remedies, and they were willing to push money into my business, but I just wanted to take it one step at a time. So I focused on quality. In this environment, if you are running a business, you think people don't care about quality, but people care about quality. People really compare. They compare the work you are doing with others, and they are able to tell whether yours is quality or not. And at the end of the day, they are going to go for what is quality. So I was able to build loyal customer base because people loved what I was doing. It was working. And then I also created products that resonated with my users. So because I was able to do my market research and all, I was able to provide solutions in my environment. Whatever my people needed, the problem they had, I was providing solutions. So that helped me, and I tried my best to reinvest whatever profits I was making. I love beautiful stuffs, but when I entered business, I realized that if you are not careful, you run business for your wardrobe. So I tried my best to quickly reinvest the little profit that I was making, and today, this is me. So the little I had, I started small. I focused on quality. I was also consistent. I tried to deliver. I tried to deliver on my promises. If I say I'll give red, I didn't give purple. I gave red. So I earned the trust of my customers, and then I was able to reinvest, and I will.
Okay, that's good. Start small. Build the clientele, let people come to trust you on what you said you stand for. So I would say, yes, sometimes when I hear people bashing entrepreneurs who say they started portraits with one feathers, they started with one egg, I sometimes don't really see that they are lies, because me, on the other hand, I could equally say same, because I didn't practically start with any money, yes, because I was coming straight from school into business, and I wasn't having any fun that you say I've saved enough that I'm coming to use it to run a business, or even I started to do the national service with my business. So you can imagine. But these days, we are so fortunate enough to have social media. We have data on our phones. We use it to watch videos. We use it to follow people. We use it to watch statuses. That data can do so much for us. Just as Madam Joy said, that you build your clientele, you grow with them, let people come to trust you. I started sewing for myself and my few friends around me. And with time, I gained trust from so many people. I wasn't having money to even set up. I was just running at my auntie's hall with my small machine. But then before someone comes to me to make an order, they will make initial payments. In fact, I will tell you you have to make some commitment. And the money that the client will give us in a kind of commitment to, that is what I will use to go and buy the fabric. I'll use to provide all the necessary things and deliver the clothes on the time I say I will, and then they came to love it. So even without money, you see, I was still running the business to the extent that when you are sitting somewhere, you could see that I have so many things, but it wasn't like that. You see, so social media is one key that we have to actually make use of it. In as much as we are just there doing so many things, I think we are really not utilizing it enough, because social media can do so many things. Right? You don't have to have a physical shop before you run your business. You don't have to get everything that you need. You don't have to buy stock of materials, stock of product to be able to do it. Just as Madam Joy said. Like she was fortunate enough to have people to invest in it, but then she was ready to start small in any way. So we should know that we should start small, build your clients and let them trust you. In fact, they will bring customers that you yourself, you didn't even plan that you can be working with such people. Yeah, so we move to Mr. Josiah. And from you, we would want to know, since you help entrepreneurs to gain grants a lot, we would want to know, what are the keys to a successful grant? Yeah, if someone needs grants, yeah, what are the keys to bid for a successful financial grant to support your business?
That is it's a great question. So it stems so we will answer it this way. If you are a first-time person, right, about being able to identify or answer the need of the grant, and then when you put the proposal together, you were then able to kind of meet that criteria, and hopefully that works. And the problem or the project problem that you want to solve aligns with the I would say the criteria that or the objectives or the values of the grant organization, and then that would work well. But then when you are already established, but then you are going for certain grants opportunities, I would say credibility is key, and integrity. So are you credible enough? Have you gained traction? Are you really going to do what it is that you say you're going to do with the money? Have you done it before? And if you've done it before, how did you do it? And then if the demographic that with grants, they will use the word beneficiaries. So the people that are benefiting from your impact, do they align with the grant organization? And then you also have to bear in mind that you can only go for grants really when you are either a social enterprise or an NGO, right? But you are fortunate enough that when you're in Africa, a lot of the organizations will give you grant money even when you are a for-profit, so to speak, but you can use that particular money for a particular part of your I would say problem or your market. You can't use their money to do billboards and raise more funds in that sense. See, so as long as your idea or your problem or your solution fits into their criteria and the values of the grant organization, and they tend to fund things similar in your demographic or your area, you're more likely to be successful. And then I will also say that when that's something that I would advise entrepreneurs to do, but I tend to do it less. Network, right? Get to know a lot of people, get to know who is who in a building, who is doing what, who you need to talk to, and all of those other things. But then you will find the reason why I do it less is, as an entrepreneur, you're so busy building a business that you don't have enough time to be doing the networking thing. But that's something that I would say invest a lot of time into. Get to know who these grant managers are, why they funding certain organizations and not yours. Maybe there might be a problem that you need to solve. Maybe your financial records are not accurate. You need to get them accurate. Maybe you're not visible enough. You're not on social, so they can't verify who you are. So by networking with them, you are able to then do that. So I always advise anybody that the entrepreneurs that I engage that want grants, I would ask them straight away that you're not going to use the grant for a profit purpose, you're going to use it for an impact-driven purpose. That's one. Two, you have to ensure that you use the money for what it is that it's supposed to be used for. And then, are you applying to somebody that aligns with your goals? You're not applying for the sake of applying to just to get the money, but you have to ensure that your goals align, and it kind of makes it easier in that respect. So if you're going to go for MasterCard money, you have to ensure that what you intend to do aligns with the objectives of MasterCard. So studying the organization before you apply is critical in that regards.
Great, great. So thank you so much. It means you don't jump on to apply for any grants that you see out there. You have to make a research. You have to know what they need so that you can provide. Else, sometimes we tend to say we get a lot of no's. I would say we make ourselves available for that. You see, when you make your research and you ask your questions and you know what they need, I'm sure you will target the right funding opportunities, and it is sure that when you try or you keep on trying, you'll be able to get the funds that you need to run your business successfully. Thank you so much. So far, so good. I hope we are learning a lot and we are putting down our questions, and I hope that even by now we should be getting some answers to some of the questions that we came with, because they've really said a lot and they might be short, but then I'm telling you, there are key things that if you pay attention to, you are moving that passion from here straight to profit. Yeah. So sooner or later we will be coming to the questions soon. So we want to take final take on advice and take away from our speakers so that we can move to the question and answer. So we will start from Madam Joyce. What is your key takeaway for us and your advice for anybody who has a passion and would want to turn it into a profitable business, and also even entrepreneurs who are in the business side already, but then they are struggling here and there. Some are doing well, but they still think they can do more. What advice would you give them?
Thank you very much for the opportunity to share my take home. So based on where I stand at the moment, I would say resilience is the backbone of every business or every entrepreneurial journey. It's not easy out there. It's not easy at all out there. So as an entrepreneur or as an incoming entrepreneur, as a growing entrepreneur, anyone that has a passion and they wants to turn it into a business, you should know that you need resilience. You should be able to stand firm and you should be ready for whatever that may hit you, may or may not hit you. At any point in time, something will definitely hit you. So at the moment, I have something I'm really struggling with. Because I'm into production, I deal with certain suppliers. Okay, I deal with suppliers. And I've realized that in Ghana, there are just few suppliers that supply quality raw materials. And these raw materials, these suppliers, because they are not really quality, they are affecting the quality of my products. And also, I'm not able to really meet up to the standard that I have set for my brand. So this is also a challenge. I need to stand firm. I cannot also say that Ghanaian suppliers don't supply with quality raw material, so I'm going to stop whatever I'm doing. I need to try my best and recover from this challenge by looking for a lot of, or I need to find backup plan, even if I need to ship or import my raw materials from other countries instead of buying here down here in Ghana. So resilience is something that we really need. And one other thing, integrity. Integrity is really important. You should be consistent in your promises, whatever you are given. In Ghana here, I'll use Ghana as an example. Someone starts a business nicely, delivers the best, and then when the person wins the trust of people, then quality drops, consistency drops, because they feel they've gotten the customers that they need, or they've gotten whatever they need. The market is so competitive. People are waking up every morning to bring out new ideas and greater things that you've not even thought of doing. So we need to take integrity seriously, and we need to be very consistent. Innovation, we cannot do without it. Adaptability, as soon as the world turns, you need to turn around. So in this case, you need to keep learning every day. You need to keep learning every day. So this is what I have to say. Thank you.
Great. That's a great one. It carries so much weight. Resilience, keep learning, so many things. Yeah. So we move to Mr. Josiah. A key takeaway and advice to entrepreneurs, people wanting to turn their passion to profitable business.
So for me, I would say consistency. Believing in yourself. I mean, I can't, knock on the nail on that one as much as possible. Believing in yourself, and also know that, believe it or not, you are the right time to be an entrepreneur in Africa, because entrepreneurship is about solving problems. And right now, Africa's a lot of problems, whether it's infrastructure problems, if it's financial problems, if it's medical problems, if it's health, if it's education. It's just a lot of problems. And the beauty is now Africans are now cool, right? Through Afro beats and all of these other things, everybody now needs to know about or wants to know about African culture and what is happening in Africa. So you are the right time. We have a lot of problems, and then also people are now interested in what is happening in Africa. So try to align that opportunity that you have right now, and then learn and build your skills, because you have the technology now. You can leapfrog everything. You have mobile, you can go online, the Coursera's of this world, Udemy of this world, even MasterCard, and all of these organizations are there to invest in you. So take that opportunity. So for me, it's about being consistent, being resilient, as Joyce said it, having integrity, and then just self-development. Keep learning, and find problems and adapt your skills to solving those problems.
Thank you. Keep learning, keep learning, keep learning, keep learning. Yes, we don't stop learning. In this journey, we don't stop learning. You always have something to learn, something new, something to improve, something to advance on. So we will move to the question and answer session. If you have a question, you can check and put up your hand. So we call you to ask the question, or if possible, you can put it in the chat and I'll read it out for our speakers to address it quickly. We will take only few questions. So if you have, I think you should drop it in. But I think I saw a first question when we just started the event. So as we are waiting for people to type in their question, let me ask that. I think someone asked is everybody an entrepreneur, or is entrepreneurship for everybody? So I'll give it to all my speakers. Anybody who want to talk to us about that?
Okay, let me jump in before Joyce comes. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody, and do not be ashamed of it. So there's two types. You have entrepreneurs and you have entrepreneurs, right? So an entrepreneur is somebody that has the mindset to work for a business, be dedicated, be honest, and everything else, but they don't like taking risks, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Now, an entrepreneur is a very risk-taking type person that would take a risk and doesn't, mind falling flat on their face. So entrepreneurship is not for everybody. So do not jump into something that you think is cool, so you're doing it, because it can be very dangerous. It tests your mental health, right? So if you're one of those people that need structure, right? If you're one of those people that need structure, you need constant somebody telling you can make it, and direction and everything else, then try and be an entrepreneur, because structure works better for you. But then if you're one of those people that you find your self-worth in a storm, then entrepreneurship is for you. And there's nothing wrong in not doing entrepreneurship. Do not be ashamed. Business is not for everybody. But I will say this though, everybody needs to try entrepreneurship so that you will know whether it's for you or it's not for you. Okay?
Wow, that's so great. That's so great. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody, and you don't have to be ashamed of that. Yes. But
Yes.
everybody should try.
I love what Josiah said. Entrepreneurship will test your mental.
It will
At
test
this
your
point,
mental
I'm
health.
having mental crisis.
It
But
is testing my
all is
own.
well.
Yeah. Joyce, would you want to add something more, or we can move to the next question?
Well, my teacher has said it all. So,
Okay, that's
yes,
great.
it's not for everyone. But if you are ready and willing to tolerate risk, motivate yourself, because at a point there'll be no one to motivate you. You wanted it and you started it. So you need to keep pushing yourself. So if you are ready to motivate yourself, stay disciplined, and then handle the pressure that comes with it, the rejection and all, then we can say entrepreneurship is for you. But if you don't find yourself under any of these, then maybe you would have to consider the two groups that Josiah just gave us, and then you put yourself where you can.
Okay, I think one audience put something in the comment section and it's interesting. Let me add. The person said, I think the choice between entrepreneurship and the other career options depends on personal goals, values, and circumstances. So clearly, it is not for everyone. So if circumstances, your personal goals are not aligning to it, you shouldn't force to do it because you see so many people doing it and they are doing well. You don't know the background story. Right now, you can ask them personal questions. It is testing their mental health. So the next question is, I think the same person asked that question. Okay, so the question is, would you, okay. How can I balance staying true to my passion while also adapting my business strategies to ensure profitability in a competitive market? How can I balance staying true to my passion while also adapting my business strategies to ensure profitability in a competitive market?
You see, because the thing is, when we talk about passion, so for me, I'm passionate about helping people, right? So helping people win, seeing people break rules and being successful in the end, that's my passion. So that means that I will keep learning how to help people all the time and who is doing it better than me, right? See, so in this case, I figure out who are my competitors. What are they doing in terms of helping entrepreneurs that I'm not doing? How do I stay ahead of the game? And when it comes to business strategies, it's about the growth. So how do I then increase my capacity, building my team, from marketing, branding, again, from what I do, that means that I need to do podcasts. I need to be on TikTok, even though I feel like I'm too old to be on TikTok, but I need to be on TikTok. So I need to post certain content. So it's all about learning what is trending in your sector, right? So then you maximize that and still drive the passion. So ultimately, if my passion is to helping people, what does that translate into? That means that making, let's say, Joyce a better entrepreneur than she engaged me. That means I have to research about her sector. What is happening in her sector? How can I support her? What strategies do I need to put in place? And then how do I then ensure that people like Joyce will see the work that I do? I need to make myself socially visible. So then again, part of the marketing strategy, you probably will be one of those people that will say, oh, I'm an introvert or I'm an extroverted person. Well, if you're an introvert, you need to develop a marketing strategy that enables you to put out your content without entering into your personal space. So it's all about learning what's trending in your space and then keep driving and keep learning and developing those skill sets in order for you to then make your strategies much better. I hope that answered that question for that person.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. So I think the next question here is, when you have more than one passion, where do you start from? I think I'll show that to Joyce. Did you have more than one passion, or you just knew it was just one, so you didn't struggle choosing?
Well, starting, I mentioned that first I thought I had passion for teaching.
Yeah.
Yes. And in fact, I think I still have passion for teaching, but when you really sit down and then you look deep into yourself, you realize that there is that one passion that if you don't do, you cannot live. Like, you cannot live without doing it. So this person asking this very important question needs to sit down and then find out which of the passion, what exactly that he or she has serious passion for. Like the feeling is so strong. Okay. So me, for instance, I have merged my passion for beauty with my passion for teaching. Even though my passion for beauty is higher than the teaching, now I teach formulation. I teach people how to do production. I teach people how to do a number of things, and this is linked to my beauty business. So there is definitely that one passion which is higher than the other.
Yeah, that is well said, Madam Joyce. I think I'll add a little to that. It is so true. Personally, I had more than one passion. In fact, I didn't know that I'll be doing full-time passion, but here I am today. There is always one of the things that you do that you have so much peace within you when you do it. It comes so easily. You can do it with ease. When you are doing it, you are not so much into distress. Even if you get frustrated at a point, you can't let it go. You will say, oh, I'm done. But the next thing you see yourself doing that again. I can't count the number of times I decide to give up on this sewing business and this sewing passion. But then you see, you can throw the dress away for days. You can leave your machine for days, but I'm telling you, will still come back. So that one thing that when you leave, something will definitely draw you back. Not because you've had solutions to it, not because you think you won't get problems again, but because there is the passion, there is a higher passion within you that keeps pushing you there. So there is always one thing that is higher than other passions. So I think when you find that, it would really help you to know what to do. And yes, if you have so many that you think you are unsure about the one that works, I think you should try all of them. You should try them. And at the end of the day, you'll be able to see the one that you do it with so much ease. You see you are fulfilling purpose, or you feel inner peace and inner comfort within you, and you get so much comfortable and things start to fall in place when you do that. Yeah, that becomes what you can try. So, if we don't have much question again, I think, okay. So we have one more question here. How do you come up with business idea? So, Mr. Josiah, I think
For Mr. Josiah.
Okay. So I think the approach is not to say that's an idea. How do you come up with problems, right? See, so the best thing is to search for problems that exist around you, and then ask yourself, do you have the skills, or who has the skills to solve those problems, and then who will pay you for that? Once you're able to align those three, so first of all, what is the problem, right? Then ask yourself, do you have the skills? Then if you have the skills, then ask yourself, who is going to pay me for solving that particular solution for them? And that's how you come up with it. See, so don't look at it as an idea. Look at it as, how do I come up with business problems? Once you come up with business problems, scan the area that you're in, because there's so many problems around you. Figure out who's facing what problem, and then align your skill set, or find somebody who has the skills to solve that problem for you, and then make money out of it. That's really that simple.
Great. I hope we have our answers. Time is not on our side, so I will encourage us to check www.baobabplatform.org. We have so many entrepreneurship courses that one can take. I have a full blog on turning your passion into a profitable business on Baobab. You can check my social medias for much details. I think this brings us to the end of the session. If you have so when you check the comment section, the Baobab link has been posted there. You can just click on it. You sign up with your email. It is open to everybody. You can take courses. You can find opportunities. You can find great networks to help you go on your business journeys. When you want to partner for foreign partners, local partners, you can take courses, free courses there too. You can find blogs and other great pieces, encouragements, motivations on Baobab platform. So we are going to when you check the comment section, we'll drop our speakers, their links, their pages, so that if you have further questions to ask someone personally, you can drop it in their DMs, or you can follow me on all social media at Mavis Anartey. Follow Baobab, register and sign up. If you have any personal question, we will address that for you there. But our time is up now, and I would want to thank first our speakers, our guests. Thank you so much, Mr. Josiah, Madam Joyce. This has been more than enough. In fact, if we have more time, I know we would have dived deep into it. I think there are so many questions coming in there, but I'm sure we will definitely do this again. I want to really appreciate you all for accepting to do this with me today. Thank my coaches and my Victorine, Dorothy, Joanne, everyone who supported to make this a success. I am much grateful. And to you, my audience, you've been amazing today. And I hope you have taken solutions, like you got real solution from this event, because even me, I have written some things down that it's going to work for me. So if you are hoping to turn that passion, that thing that you are using for farm, know that it can be a profitable business. It can be a business venture that you can actually get money, a good money from, and know that you can combine your passion, whichever way that it is still a good thing to use it to make money. You can turn business out of it. So, Victorine and Dorothy, do you have something for us? If not, we will draw the curtains here.
Thank you so much, Mavis, for just facilitating this event. Thank you, Jose and Joyce. You've definitely shared so much. I am definitely starting a business. I just started a business. Just sitting on this conversation and hearing you guys speak I just got so many tips that I will be taking away. And I believe everyone who has joined this conversation has taken something away. Mavis, this event has ended right now, but Mavis will definitely be hosting another event towards the end of next month. And so hopefully we will get to see these guys back or other people who are doing businesses, and, we get to learn from them. One of the goals for these events is that young people get to learn from other young people who are doing big things, so you're inspired. And I believe one of the biggest communities as Mastercard is that we are all change makers in our own ways. And so entrepreneurship is a very big way for us to make change in our communities, in our homes, in our families, and also change our lives. And so I hope we can continue having these conversations. One of our fellows will also be hosting an event on the 30th of this month around mental health, and that's Giselle. So you'll be seeing her posters, and hopefully we can get to see you around for that event as well. So for now, I don't have much to say. But thank you so much. And if you're interested in joining Baobab, the link has been shared in the chat. Be sure to sign up and get access to all the information. There's a wealth of resources on the Baobab platform, and I believe that will also contribute to what you've learned today. So I would like to say bye for now and see you again next time. I'll end the chat.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Beyond the skies, you and I, we're breaking bounds on Baobab.